Hi and welcome to another edition of TraderCast's Daily Market Report. We are looking at a multiple time frame analysis for S&P 500. I would normally post European indices at this time, so DAX or FTSE and maybe Euro Dollar, but I wanted to post S&P because it was a decent trading range today and we're reaching some fairly important levels which we should be paying attention to. So our daily time frame, without too much explanation, obviously we can see that our double stochastic is fairly embedded in overbought. This is usually a good indication for bullish traders to potentially look at a take profit area. And although we are making a narrower trading ranges, the yesterday's candle is a hanging man, or it could appear as a hammer, and today's candle is a doji, which is quite a significant candle. Okay, our 4-hourly time frame, we can see that price range is still creating higher highs and higher lows. We are still uptrending, but today's flush down actually sliced through 20 period moving average at 2039 and actually targeted this 2030 level that we identified early on and found support at this 50 period moving average. Our hourly time frame, it's even more telling, with our stochastics crossing over at 200 period moving average at the same level, which is 2030. We are looking for this second slower stochastic to cross over if we see some follow through tomorrow. Okay, and our 15-minute time frame is pretty much telling of the intraday trading range, swings and lows, and retesting this 200 period moving average and potentially targeting this previous low at 2030. So what I'll do now is I'll go back into the chart itself, and we actually use this chart for our daily broadcast, and we had this orange line at 2037 halves, which is a reference to yesterday's close. We had overnight or early mornings European trading hours high at 2046, and then we had another resistance at 2042. So basically what was happening is we were looking for potentially a pullback when US cash markets open into this area, which would be a logical area of support, and then potentially for our traders to tag it, reference it, and maybe push the price higher, which is basically what happened. And then we created almost another attempt to go higher, but failed. From that moment, it started selling again. But the interesting bit is this trading range from the high to this pool is very similar in number of points from here to here. So we're talking about 8 to 8.5 points trading range. Again, targeting this 2037 halves. Then we had a small bounce back, and then we saw another wave of selling, yet again in the region of 8.5, 9 points range. And then once we tagged this 2030 area that we identified at the beginning of our trading day as a really significant support, we created a double bottom, and then the price actually moved higher and rallied into the close, but created a lower high. And all of this here, which is basically a really short-term time frame price chart, created a doji in a daily time frame, with this 2030 being significantly important support area in multiple time frames. So I'm going to leave it with this. Loss of 2030 could potentially target 2025 very quickly, and a loss of 2025 could be potentially open up the way for the retest of further support around 2000 area, 2000. Alternatively, if the price breaks higher and stays above 2037, then obviously 2042, 2046 would be obvious upside resistance areas, potentially targeting further upside towards 2053.